Have you ever imagined what it would have been like if you had spent your childhood in complete freedom? No school, no exams, no heavy bags, no adults telling you what to do and what not to do. Can you just imagine what it would be like to grow in complete freedom? You could choose when to wake up, what to eat, how to spend every minute of your day and night. Wake up when you want to, play as much as you want to, pick up a pen and write or draw or color or read or not, or just simply dream and imagine and allow your imagination to take flight and never have to stop and never have to come back for any reason till you were ready. Seems impossible. But there are many children, thousands, lakhs, perhaps millions around the world, whose parents have taken the conscious decision not to send their children to school so that they may live and grow in freedom. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to stand before you and share my idea of my version of unschooling, which I like to call whole being learning. And the reason why I would love to share it with the world is because I have this fervent hope that these ideas will shed some light on the myriad learning opportunities. I would say infinite, how infinite learning actually can be. There are two ways in which we can home educate. One is called homeschooling and the other is unschooling. These are quite distinct from each other, as I will explain. Homeschooling parents know their children well and they guide them, teach them, but in a much more flexible way than you would be able to do in a school, because it's one-on-one, you're part of the family. They can work their syllabus and curriculum around their children's talents and interests and inclinations, as well as their hobbies and the things that they like to do. And there's no time wasted in extra things that necessarily have to be done when there are a large number of children. Homeschooling children definitely go through assessments, tests, they prepare for a board exam, and they finally go on to college. Unschooling is quite distinct, as I said, in the sense that the parents come from a place of not knowing. We don't know what the future holds. We don't really know our children better than our children know themselves. We don't even know how to teach them. But we trust that if we allow our children to be themselves, to completely rest within their own sense of being, that they will find an inner guidance, an inner strength, and inner capabilities which will take them exactly to where they are meant to be on this earth during this lifetime. There are many reasons why I would not send my children to even the best schools. I will enumerate only 4. One is imagination, the hugeness of the human imagination, which would have no space in schools. The second is the inner voice, developing the inner voice and learning how to trust in that inner voice. The third is de-schooling the self. This is a hard process, which parents and teachers and adults in general need to go through, which is possible during the process of unschooling. And the last one is whole being learning, which is my version of unschooling. My children spent their childhood playing pretend games, as children do, without interruption. They played outside. We had a large garden. We had construction work going on all the time. They were rolling in mounds of earth and building things out of found materials. They planted trees and plants with their father during the monsoons. And they interacted. Socialization is a question that we're always asked. With people of all ages and all socioeconomic backgrounds, not stuck in a classroom. They were moving all the time, playing all the time, interacting all the time. There's no question about socialization. Socialization is rich in the lives of homeschoolers and unschoolers. One summer they would be gathering dry grass, I remember, and every afternoon lighting fires. I never quite understood that. Indoors, my boys would be building cities out of wooden blocks and little cars. And my daughter would be making forests out of soft toys and dupattas and bed sheets and furniture. And this is learning happening. It's people think that children are wasting their time when they play, but there is deep learning happening. There is focus, there is imagination, there is creativity. We never put their toys away. We didn't say we have to clear this up now, it's all nonsense and we have to clean the house. These were not toys. These were ongoing alternate realities that gave free rein to their imaginations. Think about it. Everything tangible in the world today and everything intangible, our systems, our legal, socio-political, economic systems, our thought patterns, everything tangible and intangible has been created by our minds. And if we allow our minds to run free, everything can be redesigned, recreated, reimagined. This brings me to the second point of the inner voice. We have been told by the world when to eat, what to eat, when to sleep, how to earn your living. And our body, mind and spirit tell us something completely different. And this voice, over the years, becomes softer and softer until it finally completely gives up and leaves us. Our own inner guidance leaves us. This is a thing to be more afraid of than our children failing an exam or not being able to get a job. It's when your inner voice leaves you. This is the thing that is most precious. The third thing is de-schooling ourselves. People ask me, were you never afraid? I was very, very afraid, I assure you. I still get afraid sometimes. There was a time when my boys played video games 24/7 for perhaps 5 years or more. It was a time, this kind of experience comes to every unschooling parent when it becomes less about the children and more about coming face to face with yourself. I had to come face to face with my behavior, my words that were coming out of my mouth, my emotions, my deepest existential fears. And this took me through a transformation, a turning point where I began to see with new eyes, where I developed a deeper vision. Unschooling looks messy. Most of the time, children growing up, they're messy. In every kind of way, I assure you. It's embarrassing, it's frightening. But with this deeper vision, I began to see my children, and one of the most, I could say, deep things which I noticed was that they were in integrity. Body, mind, spirit moved as one. Head, heart and hands. Not fragmented. Our education system today is too mind oriented. Children growing up in freedom, they remain in integrity. Unschoolers have different words for describing. Many unschoolers don't like the word unschooling. So they call it learning all the time, whole being learning, world schooling, free range learning. But the reason I thought of whole being learning was because of seeing the way my children were through these new eyes. There are many misconceptions about homeschooling, that unschoolers and homeschoolers will not be able to develop mental skills or rigor or discipline. But these were shown to be quite to the contrary. They developed inner discipline, and mainly it was passion that fueled what they wanted to do. Because whatever they did was because they wanted to do it. No one had imposed it on them. So the things they did was always out of passion. And this is what fueled the discipline, the rigor, and everything that they do. My boys had once shown me a video several years ago called "Humans Need Not Apply." The reason being that robots are taking over all the jobs and professions, just the way machines took the jobs of laborers in the past. The world is moving at such a pace. Over the last 10 years, we have seen the rate at which changes are taking place. Over the next 10 years, this is going to be even faster. In order to deal with this tumultuous times ahead, we are going to need children who are raised with sound minds, practical skills, creativity, and imagination, and of course dollops of good humor and compassion. Thank you.